Aloha everybody and welcome to part 14 of Mega Man ZX. So you'll remember in the last part we took on Flamole, the last of the 8 Pseudoroids, and now we're going to report into Prairie, and after that we're going to do some little extra side questing, why not? Good work. We've successfully recovered the content on the data disk you brought back from the research lab. It was left behind by Sis after all. It looked like a report about the biometal. What was on it? It describes Model W, Model X, Model Z, everything about the biometal, including its true nature. In the war hundreds of years ago, there was a man who tried to conquer the world. In order to carry out his mad scheme, he created a giant battle station in space known as Ragnarok. He fused with Ragnarok, but he was challenged by a hero and defeated. Ragnarok broke apart and fell through the atmosphere, burning brightly like a shooting star in the night sky. That image will be burned into my mind forever, implying that she was there. Then that means Model W is... Yes, the soul of that man contained in a fragment of Ragnarok. That's Model W. Sis recognized its existence and set out to create something capable of fighting the threat. She used her research to create biometal with the powers of legendary heroes from an age long ago. So she succeeded. What happened next? I don't know. That's where the data ends. Oh. Model X, do you know what became of Prairie's sister? I'm sorry, I don't remember anything. All of our memories of the moments after our creation were erased. Vent, we have assembled all the passwords. With them, you can enter the ruins where the Model W core lies. They've been digging and are probably close to the core by now. We have to hurry! You're right, I'll enter the mission data and into the transserver right away. Vent, this is gonna be dangerous. It's the last few levels in the game after all, so be careful. Sorry for breaking the fourth wall, but, ladies and gentlemen, the man who tried to conquer the world with Ragnarok, if you remember, at the end of Mega Man 04, the space station in that game, Ragnarok. Dr. Weil fused with Ragnarok during the final boss fight until Zero eventually defeated him and ended that whole, regime and saved the world. So, Dr. Weil is the soul of Model W. Dr. Weil is still the villain from Beyond the Grave. And I know some people call him Dr. Wheel, but I had a consensus when I did my Zero playthroughs that everyone preferred to call him Dr. Weil. So he's Dr. Weil to me, damn it. Anywho, we're going to go do some side questing before we go on to the final areas of the game, ladies and gentlemen. So one body chip you get from Fluve after you've defeated the first 8 Pseudoroids. Just keep talking to him until eventually he gives you this body chip. It used to belong to another Guardian, and it took time to synchronize it with your biometal. I just finished it a little while ago. Quick Charger. This is the easiest chip to get. It's also, one of the best. It cuts down the charge time on your Z Buster, your X Buster, Z Saber, whatever. Oh, and by the way, some people have been asking why I don't charge up the Saber like I used to do in the Zero series. Quite frankly, I find having distance with the Z-Buster makes boss strategies a lot easier. I also don't find that the charged up Z-Saber is any more powerful than a charged up Z-Buster. So honestly, I just don't really use it too much because I don't really find a moment for it, Usually, I use it for the final boss. I might use it for one of the tentacle bosses in one of the areas where you fight Legancor. Leganchor, Leg Anchor, I don't know how he's called, but I don't really use the Charge Saber all that much. So that first guy next to the save room, he wants me to gather some screws, and I'm going to do this mission because eventually he will get me a body chip. The screws are located in Area K in the lava field. So you have to go all the way to where the area where you punch out the blocks are with Fefnir, because that's where the first screw is going to pop up from the transserver room. And by the way, here I finally show off what charging both buttons and letting go at the same time actually does. So there, before the second block, you saw that I two-punched the block and broke it apart that way. So there are 5 screws in Area K. The first one's behind those blocks. Here is the second one. And the 2 of them are in the vertical lava rising area, and one is coming up in the next screen. And you have to be Model P to get it, I should mention. Because only Model P can hang down from ledges. It's something I didn't really mention. He can also climb ceilings and stuff, but if he's on a platform that's thin enough, you can double tap down, and he will actually go down and grab the ledge from underneath it. So that's how you get that screw. It's in the lava, so there's really no way to get it, aside from, like... I don't even know if invulnerability will save you there. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I know the lava's one-hit kill, but I don't know if it's like the same as spikes, where like invulnerability can save you from being killed in it. Or if it's like Mega Man 1 logic, where it doesn't matter if you have an invulnerability period or not, it's still going to kill you in one hit. You know, I don't know these things. But either way. 2 of the screws are in this vertical lava rising section, and you're going to have to keep an eye out for them. And again, Model H is your friend here. His double jumps are super swell. Watch out for those hooks. If your health bar is really low, you're gonna get yourself killed. And I'm playing this stage pretty recklessly, but that's only because I want to have lots of time so I can get all the stuff. So there's the first screw, and when you come up to a split branch, you want to take the left pathway in order to get the other screw. And that's all 5 screws. And once you do collect all of them, boom, you're done. You can just go back to Area X and visit that guy again. Vint, you brought back all the screws! This is great! I should have known it'd be no sweat for an ace transporter. Now I can finish what I was working on! Fantastic. As I mentioned before, you can only accept 1 quest at a time, so if you're trying to multitask and do, like, multiple quests at the same time, impossible. I could have gotten something else in Area K, but unfortunately, I'm only allowed to do 1 mission at a time. Wind boot script the surface to prevent getting pushed around by wind and tornadoes. I actually like to turn that off for boss fights because it really screws up me with Legankor and like Huracan boss fights, because their whirlwinds and stuff don't really affect you unless you're like super close. So I don't even know if I'm like good until I get a little bit too close to the wind, and then it's just like, ugh, I don't know what the hell's going on. Obviously, I'm editing out a lot of the journeys because this is a lot of work here, guys. This is a lot of backtracking. This is over 40 minutes of footage being condensed into about 20, you know? So, technically 18. But this guy wants me to find a certain rock in Area K. I was just in Area K, but that rock wasn't there when I was getting the screws. Now that I accepted the mission, the rock will be there. So from the first area, let this thing rise you through. It's behind this rock. There's the special rock. Booyah. So you go all the way back to Area X, you visit Silur again, and then you accept the mission and all that jazz, and he'll send you on another errand. And that's basically how side quests usually work in this game. Again, this is all to show off body chips. I'm also going to be showing off in the next video where the sub-tank is, as well as the arcade in Area C with all the mini-games and stuff. So there's going to be 2 parts, Part 14 and Part 15, before we actually start heading to the final areas in the game in Part 16. So, you know. If you don't want to see side quest stuff, if you don't care where the body chips are or how to get them, feel free to skip the following 2 videos. And if for some reason Part 15 isn't uploaded fast enough, you know, guys, it's the summer. I usually take breaks during the summer. The thing is, when my microphone died, it got in the way of a lot of videos I would have produced at the time. And now that summer has arrived, I'm trying to enjoy my summer, you know? I always like to take breaks during this time. I'm a little burnt out from editing videos. I just sort of want to enjoy the stuff, go to the beach, hang out with friends, you know, enjoy myself. And if you don't get a Mega Man ZX video every day, I'm sorry, you're going to only probably get like 1 or 2 a week, because I'm just trying to enjoy myself for this period. But don't worry, I haven't abandoned Mega Man ZX. I'm not going to give it up. Ceratanium right there. It should be mentioned, don't destroy the power, because you can remember that before that point, you can destroy the power and turn off the conveyor belts and stuff. Don't do that, or that crusher cannot destroy that rock and unearth the Ceratanium. Also, from the power plant, I go left, I climb this fountain, I use Model H to go up here, and you'll find a switch that will drain the water. And once you drain the water, this accesses another hidden transserver just under the fountain to use to transport throughout the hub world and stuff. So I just showed you where another transserver is. How about that? You can drain the water. But before I even do that, there's a very easy free body chip in this warehouse in the form of the citizen Leonardo. Leonardo was one of the people in the Huracan mission who was about to be turned into a cyber elf. You know, he was part of that whole Holocaust imagery where everyone was locked up in that warehouse and stuff. That's the thing about Mega Man ZX. You wouldn't know that, like, there's multiple things a character could say unless you constantly keep talking to them. Sometimes you think that, like in some RPGs and some video games, you talk to someone and then you talk to them again, they're going to say the same thing. And sometimes you just wonder why they don't just say everything all at once. I guess because they don't want you to go through, like, I don't know, 20 blocks of text or something. But, you know, always talk to people more than once, because you never know what you might miss out on. For example, Leonardo here, once he realizes that Slither Inc.'s a bunch of jerks, he will give you an absorber chip, and this will eliminate knockback. And Vent's knockback was already pretty decent, at least better than Ale's knockback, but now it's even better. My knockback is super swell. Also, when you're doing side quests, you gotta remember to accept the mission. I've stated this before, but I did fall into this trap when I was recording the footage for this particular video, because I went to go get the special rock in Area K, and I had completely forgotten that I have to, you know, accept the mission. Because if you don't accept the mission, well then you don't count. If there's no G in the top left corner, then it doesn't matter. And then you'll go there and find nothing, and you're just like, oh, then you go back to the transserver, then you accept the mission, and it's just like, ugh. The extender body chip for getting that Seratanium to Silure will make your invulnerability period last a little bit longer every time you get hit. So that thing exists. And now we got another big-ass side quest for another body chip. You have to talk to this girl above the van and this little high platform, and she will talk about how her kid is skipping lessons in school, and I hope he hasn't fallen in with a bad crowd. I'm so worried. Could you do a favor and check on him? I guess I could. It's not like I have to stop an evil bunch of mavericks from conquering the world or anything. Model W? Who cares about that stuff? So go back to Area G. That's the area where you fought Fist Leo, and everything used to be on fire. Luckily, the sprinklers have turned on after you defeated Fist Leo, and now the fire is completely gone. And in the apartment where you saved all those people, now there are a whole bunch of kids playing hide and seek. And so what this means is that you're basically going to be checking every room, talking to them, and eventually for every kid you find, they're going to keep pointing in the direction of a new kid who's just like, okay, but now you have to find Billy now. He's right under your nose. Oh, he's probably in a corner somewhere. Oh, you won't find this kid because he's like the bestest, like most hidden guy I've ever known. So all you really need to do is just watch my footage. The first kid is on the 7th floor. The second kid will be on the 5th floor. Ah, shoot, you found me. Why is everyone better at hiding than me? Well, why are kids hiding here anyway? This seems incredibly, incredibly dangerous. Anyway, he mentioned something about, oh, it was right under your nose. So you have to go all the way back to Area 7 and this time go through the window. And that is where the third kid will be. As always, you have to get out of your Mega Merged form. You have to get out of the hero form and into your human form, because they won't talk to Mega Man ZX. They'll only talk to Vent, Giro Express Transporter employee. I mean, I get it. I mean, if you saw, like, a guy in, like, a Power Rangers outfit, when, like, Mavericks have been shown to look like they're in Power Rangers outfits, I guess you'd be a little bit afraid, but, you know. Again, another thing ZX Advent did better. Either characters don't care about that stuff in the sequel, or if they do, the game automatically reverts you to your base form to talk to them. So you don't really have to worry about that stuff, you know? My cousin Bon. Babu! No, it's not Bon of the Legend series, I'm sorry. But this kid basically says the last kid is like super hard to find and you won't find him because he's not even in the building. I'm just going to the right because there's a dog here. And I think if you talk to this dog in human form, he'll warp away and then he'll go back to his owner in Area C. I might be remembering that wrong. I didn't do this side quest because it doesn't get me a body chip. And any side quest that only gets me energy crystals or like story exposition and just like character stuff, I don't really care about, you know. I'm only here purely for the body chips. I'm here for the sub-tank. I'm here to show off things to make things easier for the players. And that's pretty much it. But the last kid, I don't know how the hell he got up here, but you use Model H to climb the top of the side of the entrance. And here is Jeff. And oh, this is the boy whose mom I was talking to. And now he'll go home because playing hide and seek in a burnt out building that he somehow scaled, I don't know how. What's your secret, kid? Are you Spider-Man? Can you wall jump just like Mega Man X? Do you have a double jump like Zero? How did you do that? How'd you do that, Jeff? Whatever. But, yeah. So, once the mission is finally over, you go all the way back to the trans server to accept the mission. Because this was just to the right of Area D, if you remember. And, you'll find that when you accept the mission, you got 400 energy crystals. Yeah! But I didn't get a body chip. So why did I do this side quest, you might ask? Because the kids you saved, or the kids that were playing hide and seek that you found, are now in Area C. And the first kid is in the first building starting from C1. The first building, not A2, like I mistakenly went. Whoops, not here. Didn't mean to go here. But this doorway has this kid, and you talk to him in Mega Merge form, and he will say, "Hey, I have a chip that would be just perfect for your armor. It's called a frog chip. It'll help you grip when sliding down walls. Yeah!" And that's why you did all that hide and seek bullshit for the frog chip. Good God, what a waste of my time. Anyway, folks, it's getting a bit long. In part 15, I shall find another body chip, a sub-tank, and I'll show off some arcade mini-games.